Hey guys, Corey here, Oval Edge RC, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about tools, what you need to bring to the track, what should be in your kit, and kind of the essentials so you're prepared when you get to the track. The worst thing you could do is get to the track and not have the proper tools, not be able to fix your car, and it's going to keep you out of that A-main top qualifier position, which we don't want to do. We want to get you there, and I'm committed to helping you do that. So, all right, let's get right into it. So the first thing you're going to want, you want some type of car stand. You want something that's going to prop your car up, be able to work on it, be able to take the tires off, rotate it around, see what you're doing. It's a pretty small stand. I think I got this off Amazon. It was 10 or 12 bucks. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out. And if you choose to buy one, you know, I get a little referral kickback. But there's a lot of different brands. Again, this was a cheap one off Amazon. Traxxas is making one now. I hear that's really good. I haven't used one yet. I'd like to. But get yourself a nice car stand. Next up, and probably the most important, is your toolkit. So I use MIP. This is More Industrial Products. They sell a nice hardened steel tip tool. It's got a nice handle on it. They sell it in a pack of 3, so you get the 1.5, the 2.0, and the 2.5 millimeter. I think it's $40. So I actually own 2 sets of these. Again, everything you see in the video today was bought with my own money. I'm not sponsored. So I'm giving to you straight how I like, or what I like rather, and what I use and why I chose those things. So I use MIP. It's a great product, highly recommended. However, I bought this recently. So this is a Traxxas brand toolkit, $70. This one's still brand new in the package, as you can see, but they market this as a precision ground hardened steel bit, and it comes with straight and ball end drivers. So you get a 1.5, a 2, a 2.5, a 3, and then for the ball ends you get 2, 2.5, and 3. So we'll picture that on the back. The guy at the hobby shop recommended these because they are a hardened steel tip. He showed me the ones he's been using for months. Again, no rounding on the end. It's really important to get hardened steel, because as you use these over the years, this end, if it's not hardened, will round ever so slightly. And when that starts to happen, that's when you're going to start stripping set screws in your pinion. It's when you start stripping various other screws and bolts on the car. So it's really, really important to get quality tools. I know it's a big chunk of money, $70 or $40, but I'm trying to give you a couple different options here, and I can't understate enough how important these tools are to get good ones. So, and I'm speaking from experience. I started with a cheap, I think it was a Dynamite set, and you can tell it's not hardened steel because the end will be kind of black, like a darkish gray black. And as you use it, you'll see it start to deform ever so slowly because it's soft steel. It's not a hardened steel. So anyway, get yourself a good set of tools. It's a life changer. We're gonna go into cutting and gripping. So these are the things I bring to the track. A pair of wire cutters. You never know if you need to cut like a zip tie or something. These are all also really useful in a pinch if you have to take a shock turnbuckle off. You put it on the end, you unscrew it, and this allows you to get really close to the threads because you don't want to damage that shock shaft. I don't recommend doing that, but in a pinch, it works. I carry a big set of scissors. These are WIS crescent scissors. I use these for cutting bodies, trimming bodies, different things like that. These are really beefy scissors. I love these things. And then I carry a small pair of scissors. So these are like a Klein networking type scissor you can find at like Home Depot or something. And it's just a nice agile piece of gear to get around tight corners and things like that. And then, this is not my best pair of needle nose, but the idea is get a decent set of needle nose pliers because you might need to grab something or do something. So yeah, these are kind of the cutting pieces. Taking tires off. This is a Ryobi cordless rechargeable driver, I guess. It's got a removable end. It's like $20 at Home Depot, and this is what I use to take my tires off. It's quick, saves my wrists. It's a lot better than that little T tool that Traxxas gives you in the kit. Lifesaver, especially since it's rechargeable. I mean, I throw the cable in my box, charge it at the track if I need to, but essential. Another piece I like to bring is a pit mat. This is not the most elaborate pit mat. There's a lot better pit mats out there. I haven't invested in one yet. but I like something small, and this is just the way I operate. If you're going to a big trophy race, you might be limited on space, significantly limited on space. I've heard tracks that only allow a 3x3 pit area, so you're going to want, like, especially if you're racing multiple classes, right? Like, you're going to need to keep everything compact, organized, and I use this in those situations because you're taking parts off the car. You know, I got a component here, a pocket here for my shocks if I'm taking those off, wheel nuts, body clips, you know, different bolts and nuts and things. And then if this gets bumped, since it's a silicone, it doesn't usually go anywhere, and it kind of stays in place. They do sell other ones that have a magnetic backing to keep everything held down. Maybe invest in one of them. This was like $15. It's cheap, essential kind of tool for your pit when you're out there working. Oh, this is my favorite tool. This is my favorite tool in my kit. And I'm going to demonstrate what it is. Let's get our car back out here. You're a Mud Boss. So this tool is made by Team Losi Racing, and it's for adjusting your camber, your caster, and your toe. So what you do is you throw it on the end, and there's two ends here, so we want that one. So it gives you a really nice grip on these turnbuckles, so you can do your caster or your camber rather, and your toe at the bottom, either side, front or back. And if you've used the stock wrench that comes with the Traxxas cars, it's horrible. It's a little silver skinny wrench, and it leaves a lot to be desired. And Team Losi came through with this tool. It's such a nice tool. It's like $13. I'll leave a link below. By far, one of the most used tools in my kit, and probably my favorite. You have to recognize that when you use the improper tool for so long and then you upgrade to something that is amazing for that job that it's doing, it just leaps and bounds. So yeah, I'll leave a link below. Next up, you want to get yourself like a little pocket screwdriver. So I got these free from the tool guy, so I think they're Matco, but it's just a little pocket flathead. It's got a magnet on the other end. It's really good for like prying the hub off, take the magnet, pull the pin out. Actually, there's a pin still on this one. It's just useful. If you need to pick up something, it's got the magnet end, so you can just doot. Beautiful. So get one of these, throw it in your kit. Most parts stores, I think, give these things away, or they used to, so should be pretty easy to find. All right, moving on. We're gonna go look at tires. All right, so here you got a stock Mud Boss tire. You're gonna want to, and I know that's not a tool, but don't judge me. Super glue. Why do you want super glue? Let me show you. You can see that. I'm not sure if it's zoomed in or not, but there's a chunk taken out of this tire. This is almost a brand new tire. And so what a lot of guys do is they take the super glue and they apply a thin layer around the outside. What that does is when you hit something on the outside, like the wall, it's gonna give you a little extra protection so that foam doesn't rip. Because as soon as the foam rips and it gets down to the lower side of the rim, you're in trouble. That tire's life is, days are counting down. The other thing you want to keep in your kit is a roll of electrical tape. And the reason for that is if you're racing on carpet or any type of high grip track, that right front can be taped up to 1/4 inch per Salvas rules. And why would you want to do that? You head into the corner, you start taking a left, the weight transfers on the car, and then you see the whole chassis of the car lift. It means you got too much right front grip. This electrical tape being super smooth, you put a thin layer around the outside of this tire, just like so. This is gonna be really sloppy, but I'm just gonna do it real quick. So show you guys. So you put a thin layer right around the edge of that tire, grab our cutters. This is again why you need it. You could rip that, but it's not gonna leave a nice clean surface. This isn't my best tape job, but it serves the example. And then you just kind of roll this around. Now you're using less surface area on the tire to get through the corner, and when it gets over to this kind of slippy spot on the tape, it's going to give you a little slide. So really important, electrical tape is a must, especially if you're doing carpet racing. Next up, and so I don't recommend buying this one. I've never used this one. So this is Power Hobby. It's a digital camber gauge. This is a Mud Boss series. However, this tool is used for a 1/10 touring car. I've never used this tool. But the idea here is that you need something that can measure camber. The iPhone can do it. I would demonstrate that, however, I'm filming with my iPhone. find some way so you can measure camber. It's really important so you're able to record your setups, what's working, what's not working. Hey, I went to the track, I was running this type of setup, you know, I had 2 degrees of negative camber here. These tires, the right front had this much tape on it, and you got to be able to measure things. It's really important. If you want to be consistent and make those A-mains and top qualifiers, you got to be recording your setups and measuring your car. And this is a critical piece of measurement. You got to be able to know how much camber you're running. Another piece, electrical parts clearing. This is what you want. Something like this is what you want to be running when you need to clean your motors, clean your electronics, things like that. So this stuff isn't that cheap. I think it's like $12-15 a can. It used to be a lot cheaper, but see, this is made by CRC. There's a couple other brands out there, but get yourself some type of electric parts cleaner. Don't use a brake clean. I've seen people do that. Don't use WD-40. Don't use brake clean. Use something that's made to clean electrical parts, because what happens is you spray this and it almost immediately evaporates. It's like an alcohol. I'm sure it's not alcohol, but you spray it on and then it dries with no residue, no vapors, no smells, no nothing, and you'll see the gunk coming out of your 12-turn motors. It's pretty amazing. All right, next up. Parts and pieces, screws and nuts and bolts and body clips. These were bought off of Amazon. They've seen better days, but nonetheless, you're gonna need stuff like this. These are your extra parts and pieces that you're gonna drop on the floor. You're gonna do it, trust me. What we have in here, you know, extra shock bolts. We've got body clips. We've got pins for your hubs. We've got extra turnbuckles. We've got chassis screws. I mean, those tiny little retaining clips that hold on the front pins for your, what are they called? Control arms. You've got them all in here. If you need to rebuild the turnbuckle, got those things in here. Make sure you get something like this. You don't have to get these exact ones, but I think the bigger one was a 1,000-piece kit for like $25. The smaller one was, I don't know, less pieces for less money. Just go get yourself some parts. You're gonna need them. It's handy to have. And then last but not least, this is heat shrink tubing. So you don't have to bring this whole kit to the track every time, but I bring a soldering iron, or at the very least I bring this, because I know that if I need to do a repair, most times there'll be another person there with a soldering iron. If you want to bring it every time, that's fine, but you know, having shrink tubing is going to allow you to repair those broken wires and repair them correctly. Because the last thing you want to do is do a solder job and then coat it with, you know, electrical tape. While that will work, it's not ideal. You want to be able to put a nice piece of shrink tubing on there, heat it up, seal that up, and have a proper fix. And this is, in my opinion, essential. So it's going to wrap it up for today, guys. So if you like the content, let me know. Subscribe, comment below, and I'll put a link to all these things that we've seen here so you can check it out. And yeah, have a great time. You know, get some racing in. Let me know where you're racing, what you're racing, and if these videos are helping. All right, take care. Bye.